Okay, so we are talking all about growth mindset. And I love this topic because I totally think that it's so needed, but so many of us operate from a fixed mindset.
So the growth mindset really comes down from psychology back in the 1990s when Carol Dweck, an educational psychologist, explained that there may be only two real ways to sort of see the world. Whether you think that you're sort of born with it in terms of your talents, your intelligence, or you actually really truly believe deeply in your core that you can actually learn and grow and be something different. It's a fine balance between what you really truly believe inside voice and then what you think on the outside. I can do this. I really can learn it.
It sounds a bit to me like growth mindset butts up against the imposter syndrome a lot, meaning I can think that I can do it, but on the other hand, can I really do it? And a lot of times when we have that other small voice, the growth mindset is something that we have to learn how to practice because otherwise, how do you move forward? Can you share how your practice of the growth mindset even came about?
It came from my simulation education background. As we teach physicians, we actually create environments where we simulate the real life. In that learning theory, it's all about action, reflection, and seeing how we can actually be better in that clinical or team environment. And through those learning theories, there is actually a lot of emotional barriers that prevent people from actually being able to learn, even in a pretend environment. I started to wonder, well, what was this? And came upon Carol Dweck. This is obviously international now. It's been proven again and again that when you have that growth mindset, that you are actually able to perform better, score better. It's actually having the process in place than the number or the score. And so many people in healthcare, because of the high regulations, because of that fixed belief of it has to look a certain way, people have forgotten that the growth mindset is the more important thing for lifelong learning and improvement and practice over time. And so that's why I started to think about how do I apply other types of learning theories into the medical sphere.
It's always a beautiful thing of how we actually come to a concept that ultimately changes our lives. I can remember for me, I was trying to figure out if I was going to go back to school and get my PhD in psychology. I knew that's what I ultimately wanted to do. I needed to have some prerequisites, psychology and statistics. I'm not good at math. I don't know math. When I was in that statistics class, I needed a lot of help to even be able to pass this class because the odds were stacked against me. I stumbled across the growth mindset book, and that semester I worked hard and I ended up getting a B in that class. It literally worked, and everything from there has been uphill, especially when I face difficult challenges.
You really highlight two important aspects about the growth mindset, which is, right, you have to believe that you can actualize what it is. Whether the goal is a test, the goal is a course, and you also have to have all the little micro actions to go along with it. How are you going to get there? So the two of them together really are the two components of the growth mindset. The combination of the two together makes it so effective.
Have you seen a time in your own life or a time in the professionals who you coach where this has actually been put to the test and they've overcome?
Each person finding their own personal learning goal is really where it comes down to. There are definitely situations where some applications of coaching in healthcare actually have been at the medical school level, where it's all about how can we learn and think better. We actually begin now the whole year-long journey at orientation and have people really begin and think, can you? And question yourself, are you really a growth mindset? And make a documentation of where you are, what you want to do. It begins first with the goal and then thinking backwards to what are the little things I'm going to do to get there. One little thing is better than nothing. There's so many things that go into learning, especially in complicated, high stakes fields, that you need to not only believe in yourself, it's also that process of how are you going to get there.
It's so interesting because I think that we all go through certain challenges. Like you said, learning is different. So is the challenges that we go through. So what would you say to the person who are like, well, I'm not in this high stakes position. Why do I need to utilize the growth mindset?
You probably have heard the saying where if you're not growing, you're dying, right? And so the reality is, why do people leave their jobs? Why is there quiet quitting? People stagnate, right? And so at the end of the day, the growth mindset helps you become the best version of you. And you also have the greater potential than perhaps that you can even imagine, right? A lot of society tells us you can't do this, you might not want to do that. You're going to hear a lot of naysayers. And at the end of the day, you have a choice to listen to those naysayers, or you can go and try and go become that. There's so many opportunities out there now that there's nothing to say that any one individual can't do it. And it's the growth mindset that gets you there because you don't accept all those things that society tells you and you just do the small little steps and you praise yourself for the process. It's really not about comparing yourself to the mega 1 million famous person. That might be what you want to become, but maybe not. At the end of the day, can you just enjoy and fall in love with the process of growth? Because as you grow and as you bloom, whether it be accounting skills or personal speaking skills, all of these are skills. They layer, and your experiences and the things you choose to say yes to actually evolve you into a much more talented version of you.